We here at the Board Game Snobs have an important announcement. A statement, rather.
Uh-oh.
We are staunchly against plagiarism.
Yeah. But let's call him what he really is. Darth Plagiarism. Master of and betrayed by Darth Sidious. You know that.
That's Plagueis. Plagueis.
The Sith do plague us.
Oh, Lord.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Hey, everybody. Need you to shut up and sit down here. As we welcome everybody to the Board Game Snobs podcast, we're going to be a little bit topical this particular episode. We're going to talk about
Let
some...
me put on one of my mini hats.
Yep. Oh, yes. It's a fine fedora you have on there.
Thank
brightly
you.
colored. We're going to talk about something topical that is... You see...
Like analgesic cream.
Yes. That's actually...
What?
No, that's good. That's
you.
good. That's
Thank
good.
you. Neosporin. Thank you. Sponsor of this podcast, Neosporin.
Plagiarism. We're going to talk about
We're
plagiarism.
going to get topical. I don't like to get topical.
I like to get
serious.
topical. I like
I know
the
you do.
superficial.
I like to stir it
I
up.
like to get some salt in that wound. Before I
It's
forget,
really topical. It's been like a month now.
it was July the 3rd.
Okay. That's pretty close to a
It's
month.
almost a month. But this is important. First off, this is the Board Game Snob podcast. This is a podcast about board games, but every once in a while we do talk about other things. My name's Jerry, and my co-host / what are you?
I'm Gobby.
Yes,
I'm a
Gobby.
human.
So this particular episode is about board games, but we're going to talk about something that is going on in the board game community, or actually started about a month ago, or was exposed. That is blatant plagiarism of the highest order. So just in case you didn't know, because quite frankly, I didn't know, because I don't watch or listen to a lot of reviewers.
Jerry, what is plagiarism?
What are we doing to Mr. Rogers? So they're like, hello, children.
You just assume people know what that word means.
Won't you be my neighbor?
They might think it's
The word of the day is
plagiarism.
plagiarism.
The practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own.
Thank you, Gobby.
Okay, well then,
That looks really good with Tom Hanks, by the way. I'm going to watch that.
which one?
The Mr. Rogers.
Oh, yeah. They're plagiarizing Mr. Rogers'
Well,
life.
no, they're letting. That's different.
And Tom is acting like that's his life.
No, Tom can act like it's anybody's.
I must
life.
confess, I plagiarized a lot in high school.
What did you plagiarize?
People's answers.
You cheated.
What? What? How dare you? Yeah, that's plagiarism, right?
I was homeschooled, so I didn't. There was nobody to plagiarize or to cheat.
I mean, if you copy somebody's answers, that's plagiarism,
I
ain't it?
guess, yeah.
Well,
Close enough.
Okay.
But there was a particular.
Go on, sorry.
A particular, I guess we'll call him reviewer, media person. Basically, this individual was copy and pasting reviews off of Board Game Geek and utilizing it on her own blog, and has for a long time. This was exposed. She shut down her website, her Punchboard Media, the people who she wrote for, of course, cut ties with her, yada, yada, yada. And I kind of kicked back to just watch what happened, because I didn't know who this person was. Like, I didn't particularly know who. I had to ask Gobby. Gobby knew her.
I followed her on Twitter for a while, but
I just, anyway.
you know, some people like lots of drama, and like there was always drama surrounding. So I just kind of quit following.
I noticed that once I've taken over the Twitter, I have found that many people create drama. They are board game people, and they're known for being reviewers and other things of that nature in relationships to board games, but they utilize their Twitter and their social media accounts for other things and tend to create drama and talk about things.
I just like to have fun.
We like to have fun here.
That's what we're about.
Right. So we don't talk about that stuff, except when we have topical episodes such as these.
Gosh.
So I kicked back, didn't say anything, wanted to see what happened. So it's been a month. And strangely enough, this has all kind of just been swept under the rug. and nobody's really focused on it or outraged about it anymore. It was the hot topic for all of about 3 or 4 days, and now it's gone on. I think that's interesting.
Must be nice.
It must be nice. Do you remember Brian Williams?
Yes.
Okay. Where is Brian Williams? Is he still a thing? Is he back on TV?
I couldn't tell you, but I know he's not where he once was.
No, he was not. He is not. So it's interesting that as somebody who is involved in, and thank God we're not reviewers, when people who are involved in any type of media plagiarize or outright lie or do something, there are actions to there are consequences to their actions. Whereas with some, it seemed like they have a free pass. Like they do something, it's exposed, it's talked about, and then some time goes by and they're right back to what they were doing. So should that person ever have anything to do with the board game media? What do you want to call this? Not institution or
I don't know.
But anyways.
Just board gaming.
So I just find it interesting to see how certain social groups react when things happen. Thankfully, nobody's ever we don't have to worry about being plagiarized. We never say anything worth repeating.
No.
Nor do we write anything worth copying.
No.
So.
We may hear our intro somewhere else, though.
Yeah.
I think that was good.
I've listened to a lot of podcasts, but they don't include our puns. You know what I'm saying? Did you get that? Did you get that joke?
Oh, yes.
That's a good one.
Actually, I didn't when you first said it.
Okay.
But when you asked me, did I get it? Then I got it.
Yeah.
One thing that irritates me.
Okay.
This one irritates me.
What irritates you?
Is when people are very, very sorry. Very sorry.
I'm always sorry.
No. Once they've invested.
Oh, yeah. If you catch me, I'm super sorry.
It's like, my man.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I did this terrible thing because I'm caught.
Yeah.
Would that okay? So if this had been going on for some time, and then of their own free will and volition, they say, you know what? Hey guys, my bad. I kind of been doing this. I'm kind of been cheating.
Yeah.
I mean that's different. But it's like, no, you were caught, and then suddenly they feel bad. It's like, well, how am I to take that? How can you be? How do you gauge sincerity upon just someone being caught?
I don't think you can. Not for a large part. It would be a breath of fresh air if someone would be like, "I'm not sorry, got caught. Sorry about that."
Hey! I was making a pretty good living, so y'all had to go mess it up.
Those darn kids. Those darn kids. I would have got away with it too. Whatever that darn kids.
Well, I mean, this is my deal. Okay.
Don't you wish you had a van and a dog and you could go solve mysteries?
How do you know I don't?
You don't have a dog, you have a cat.
Well,
and you don't
she
have
goes
a van.
with me.
And
Pasha,
you can't even figure out.
Pasha takes me. Goes meow to those that are guilty.
Pasha's your cat, by the way.
I know that.
I know, but people don't know that. We're actually being recorded right now. There's like tens of people that will listen to this and wonder who Pasha is.
All right, we done talking about plagiarism?
I don't want to talk about plagiarism more. I want to talk about.
So what are you gotta have some sort of conclusion.
I don't like plagiarism.
The conclusion of the matter is
all right.
We are anti-plagiarism.
No. Here's my conclusion of the matter. Number one.
Conclusion of the matter.
I think that people often get tied up with content creators. Like since the past year, I've probably watched more YouTube and Twitter and Facebook just because of being involved with the podcast, and I don't generally do those things.
Right.
So looking at what people produce, especially on Instagram, people taking pictures, people posting stuff about themselves on Twitter and throwing their thoughts out there. Everybody is just tied up with content creators and people who are influencers. And I think that it's often...
Everybody's trying to be somebody.
Everybody's trying to be somebody. And
as are we, once we get big enough.
Oh, yeah. Once we
send us your money.
Yeah. It's just go ahead. Go ahead and... Western... What's that?
Western Union?
Western Union us. But no, I just think that everybody is trying to produce content. Everybody's trying to do things. Everybody's trying to one-up each other. And I hate content creators. That's what I've come to find. I'm glad.
Now, there's good ones.
There are some good ones, but the good ones produce things that are valuable. For instance, I'm glad you brought this up. Let me whip out my Amazon box and get this going.
Go ahead.
I like Rodney Smith.
There you go.
I have met Rodney
What
Smith.
what he does is of value.
I love Watch It Played. If you are a YouTuber or anybody like that, and you do
John Gets Games.
John Gets Games. They show playthroughs and how to play games.
No pun included. Excellent reviews. May not always agree.
Don't agree.
But the way they break them down.
I enjoy.
Let's just name off the people we do like.
There's not that many. Well, here's something. Here's something that I will say. I enjoy when somebody creates content that is useful or is thought-provoking. There is not that many people out there who actually...
You're different than me. I don't want my thoughts to be provoked. I just want to be entertained.
Well, I'm going to throw this out there.
Give me Maximus Decimus Meridius and I will be entertained.
One of our listeners, forgive me, I can't remember if it was Peter or Paul. Well, one of the other apostles. I can't remember. I interact with our fans sometimes. But somebody sent us a link about written reviews. There is this website called Space Biff.
Yeah.
Space Biff by Dan Throit. I don't know how to say his name. But Dan writes for spacebiff.com. It is his own website, and he writes reviews for board games. He has some of the just well-written, verbose, clear reviews of board games I have ever read. And it's because the way he reviews games, he doesn't do the talk about the mechanics. He talks about the almost like the theory behind the game and how you enjoy it. Like he breaks it down into, this is why you would enjoy this game. And I can read his stuff and go, okay, I would enjoy this game. If you want to hear something fun, you want to read something funny, just read his review of Gen 7.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He does. He like everybody. He knows nobody reads this stuff. They look at it. They skip down to the last paragraph. I did the same thing. I skipped down the last paragraph, and his Gen 7 review is like, oh, it's a great game. You should by it right now. And then the paragraph right behind it says, I'm going to put something very snarky at the end of this. So if you're the type to skip down, this is a terrible game. and it was, that warmed my heart. That warmed my heart. That was great.
That's a Jerry mood.
That was a Jerry mood. Dan, we're soulmates. But yeah, he has a Patreon, and he has this little thing called, was it Coffee?
I saw that. I don't even know what that is.
It's like you give him $3, like you buy him a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know how that works.
You PayPal him money. I don't support that many people unless I enjoy their content. Like Watch It Played, something of that nature. This guy, boom. Loved it.
Did you send him a cup of coffee?
Yes.
Really?
Because I sat and...
What about me? I use some coffee.
I brought you some Glenlivet.
Oh, who sent that to us?
That was
Fantasy Ranch.
Fantasy Ranch, which is a great name for a board game, although it does sound kind of adult. Has nothing to do with.
I think that's in Las Vegas.
I think it might be in the Nevada area. No, it's Arizona.
Oh, okay.
I think. Don't let me forget to talk about Fantasy Ranch here in a minute because you sidetracked me. But I love this guy's website, Space Biff. Dan. Throit. Don't know how to pronounce your name. Doesn't matter. Excellent. I think the way that we get away from influencers and people who are just utilizing their platform to try to get attention, you know what I'm talking about. Right. The shallow is by highlighting the quality people who are actually doing something for the hobby. Dan is doing something for the hobby. Rodney Smith is doing something for the hobby. There are just many content creators. If you're a content creator and you're out there making YouTube channels of how to play certain games, you're doing a good thing for the community. Yeah. We aren't doing a really.
What are we doing?
We are the.
Why should they listen to us?
We are the dregs of the podcast.
I was like, we are in. I would say see, I can't even talk.
What?
This is why I don't consider us a board game podcast.
We're not, are we?
We barely touch on those things.
We talk about board games.
But I think just being entertained is worthy because there are very few. Board Game Barrage is a newer podcast. Uh-huh. I enjoy listening to them. I will listen to some of Secret Cabal, but 3 hours I can't hardly do sometimes. And they go like really in depth into how the game works. And I don't
agree with anything they say. Go ahead.
They do like a lot of stuff I don't like, but still I appreciate what they do.
They love Star Wars Outer Rim. Go ahead, sir.
Well, but I like listening to some of their. Okay, it doesn't matter.
I like listening to us because I think we're genuine.
I like listening to us.
That's what I like. I'll listen to our podcast. I like listening to us, and that's what we are. We're genuine people.
Also, very topical.
Okay.
Katy Perry loses her Dark Horse trial The jury says that was a complete, not a complete, but her Dark Horse song ripped off a Christian rapper named Flame. I listened to both those songs, and this is very difficult to me in music.
Uh-huh.
It might have like a similar tone, just like a tone. Like in the song, there's this beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
And they use that beep in the next song.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is different to me. So how is that? I don't understand how I know music's a whole different thing, but like she lost this by this jury. I think they're going to try and take it somewhere else.
Katy Perry.
How dare
No,
you?
I'm serious. I know.
You don't know who Katy...
No. Don't berate me for this. The
I'm
name
not
sounds
berating
familiar.
you.
Name a song.
Firework. Dark Horse.
I'll know it.
She sang the song for the Summer Olympics a couple
Which
Olympics
was?
ago.
Is she the one that kissed the girl and liked it?
Left Shark. The Shark.
The shark. The Super Bowl. I love the shark.
That was Katy
That was a
Perry.
good one. She didn't jump the shark. That shark was good.
I like
the Shark.
I mean, she's straight pop stuff.
Okay. And again, I don't particularly care for that.
All right, let's go to Fantasy Ranch.
No, let's go to Star Wars Outer Rim. Then we'll do Fantasy Ranch.
Okay. I'm ready for this review, actually.
Why?
You know what I did? I wrote stuff down.
Throw that out. We don't want to change that. We don't want to do that.
I wrote this. Wait.
Would you like some more scotch?
I've lost it. It's gone.
Oh, well, you look for it. I'll describe the game.
No. I'm going to describe this game.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
Let me kick back with my sniffer here. Go
Star Wars Outer Rim.
ahead. You want me?
I don't know all the details of it. I should have wrote them down.
Fantasy Flight.
It's a fantasy flight game. It
Not
is
to be
a
mistaken
pick up
with
and deliver game.
Not to be mistaken for Fantasy Ranch. Go
Not
ahead.
for Fantasy Ranch. It is a fantasy flight game involving various characters throughout the Star Wars universe, from Han to Jyn Erso. I didn't actually look to see if they were all within a timeline. Jyn Erso was a little before. I didn't see anybody like new. Like IG-88, Lando, Bosk. It's got all these characters you can choose from. Each character has an ability. You pick your character, you pick your ship.
Keep flying.
Keep flying. I'm glad you remember that. I was trying to think of it. I couldn't think of it.
Saved you.
There are 11 planets in the outer rim of this game.
Mm-hmm.
You have a certain amount of moves, a certain amount of battle, a certain amount of health/defense.
Right.
The crux of the game is cargo, bounty, and jobs. You're going to go to a planet, get a job, get a cargo, get a bounty, take that to another planet, drop it off, gain fame. That's the game.
This game is literally, I was thinking of it. It's a Star Wars Uber. It's like,
It is.
Go pick this person up, transport them to over here.
As long as you're on a planet,
5 stars, please.
as long as you're on a planet,
you can buy a ride.
You can buy from a marketplace. You can mod yourself up to make you more battle worthy, which there's very few you could bounty. There's hardly any player interaction. There's like 1 or 2 cars that enable you to fight each other.
I'm going to reskin this game as Uber the game. So like instead of ships, it's just going to be like a Corolla.
There you go.
What kind of car, what kind of ship are you going to upgrade for? Oh, I'm driving a Dodge.
Why is poor Lyft? It's been left behind.
I like the name Lyft better than Uber.
I don't even know.
I need
Uber is
Lyft.
like super, right?
Yeah, but that Lyft sounds...
With a Y. That kind of lost me.
When you do it with a Y, because people said, I need a lift.
I need a lift. And you say, why?
Yeah, because...
I don't know.
It's
But
just
I'm
a thing.
here for you.
Well, like,
I drank too much.
Give me my
That's why I need a lift.
I need my Uber.
Yes.
Like Uber, that sounds weird.
Yeah. Okay. You're getting me off track.
I'm sorry.
The roles have reversed.
I'm plagiarizing you. I'm plagiarizing you. Allow me to gesticulate while you speak. Go
You
ahead.
have character goals. Like for Han Solo, he needs a ship. You start off with a ship that's worth 0. He needs a ship that's worth 15,000
a
credits
hunk
or
of
more.
junk.
Yes. Some of your ships have goals. Well, I think all your ships have a
How
goal.
can a ship have a goal?
It's got a goal.
It's got
It's
something it's to
sentient.
strive to.
Sentient. So your character has a goal, your ship has a goal, you meet those goals, you try to get up to 10 points. That's your base game. You can go up to
fame
12
points.
points.
Fame
points. A victory point, fame points. It's all the same
No,
thing.
Fame. Fame's different.
You have reputation tracks, 4 reputation tracks: Hut, Syndicate, Rebel, Imperial.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your guys will start off with positive or negative of those, and those will interact with the patrols that are also on the board. There's 4 patrols, each of those I just mentioned: Hut, Syndicate, Imperial, Rebel. If you run into those patrols with a negative reputation, you will have to fight them. If you run into those patrols with a neutral reputation, you just have to stop while they ask for your papers. If you have positive reputation, you can move right through them. There's also the Maelstrom right by the Kessel planet.
Yes.
So if you can't go through the Maelstrom. You have to stop, just like in Solo the movie.
I watched Solo the movie.
What'd you think?
It's a horrible. But still, I wish there would have been.
When you first watched it, you said you liked it.
I did like it.
It is not horrible.
I wish there was
You've made me mad.
Sequel. Why?
It is not horrible.
The writing in it's so bad. So bad. I like Woody.
Who watches Star Wars for the writing?
I do a lot.
What fantastic lyrical prose did you love from the original trilogy?
Yoda was always like dropping the lines, but he would say everything that you want to say, but he'd say it in reverse. And
So genius.
I mean, that's genius.
Ingenious that is.
Genius that is. And then you've got
I know, that's literally Yoda.
That's great.
That's all you need.
That's got Ewan McGregor in the original. Hello there.
Well, hello there.
He was just great. I love. There are good.
Solo. It did not deserve the hate it got.
It did not deserve the hate.
I really like. I went into that movie expecting to hate it,
but it was decent.
Is he Taron Egerton or Aaron Eglefort or whatever? There's like three of those guys. Alden Ehrenreich. There's like three of those guys.
Alden Ehrenreich.
I was like, oh, this guy.
He did all right.
I think he's British even.
Yeah.
Maybe not that matters.
I know. How dare you?
Are you
anti-British?
Well, we ran them out, the Redcoats. I still view them as the Redcoats. We didn't like them then. Why should we like them now?
Well, I like London. I've been to London. It's nice.
Oi.
That's not how they sound.
Good eye.
No, that's Australia.
Oh, that's right.
You're just ruining everything. Hey,
the lady from the lady.
You have to cut all this out. You sounded very bigoted.
My Fair Lady.
On
the
My
rind and spine falls mainly on the blind.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she talked like that.
Okay, but that's not indicative of all London.
There's a lot. This is the deal. There's a lot of British English accents within England.
Yeah, there's a lot of accents down here in the South.
Just like dialects.
I hate those guys. They always show up at the most inopportune times.
On Doctor Who?
Doctor Who.
That's a good one.
Exterminate.
I don't know if that's where you're going.
We were there.
But anyway,
this game sucks.
We have to get there.
I'll get there. Gotta hurry.
So,
because I'm already
you're trying to get to 10 fame points, and this is the part of the podcast I don't like where they explain the game. If I want to know how the game plays, I just go on YouTube and watch it played.
Nice observation.
Or whatever. Usually, if it's a theme or style of game, I'll be interested. If I want to know the exact details of the game, I have a hard time listening to podcasts describe a game. It irritates me.
It does as well.
I have talked through this game. You pick up, you deliver. You might fight patrols for fame points. Me and Enrique played, and Jerry, it was
very
boring.
Very dull.
Pick up and deliver. I played it solo twice.
Very dull.
I played it
watching
me and Deej. Very dull. The only time it even got exciting was like literally the last turn of the game where me and him were tied. He went for fame against this patrol just to battle to try and win a level 2 or 3 patrol. He won on a die roll. That was out of the hour and a half that we played, or hour, however long it took. That was literally the most exciting part of the game. Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to a planet, pick this up, go over here, pick that up. Go over here, pick this up, go over there, pick that up. I mean, you could try and once you got to know the game and know where the illegal cargo was, because that's the only cargo that gives you fame points is illegal cargo. You might try and shorten the runs, like make sure you're not clear across the map and have to travel all the way to the other planet on the other side of the outer rim. But it is boring. I wanted so bad to like this game. I tried to like this game. It's still just blah.
On caveat, we don't like pick up and deliver games.
No.
But we're always looking for the pick up and deliver game that will change our mind. For instance, Wasteland.
I'm willing to try.
Wasteland Express.
Ugh.
Oh, did not like that. That game was uber popular when it came out. And actually, that was
less popular.
That was the one that I got kind of caught some flack on Facebook when I was trashing it.
How dare you dislike something?
Oh, no, I can dislike whatever I want, especially something like Wasteland Express.
Rainbows and flowers.
With this Star Wars Outer Rim, the IP is used to catch your attention. It's obvious that Fantasy Flight is planning an expansion. You can tell with the cards.
Because there's not many.
There's not that many. You go through the content very quickly. This game is $50. It shouldn't be worth 30. I mean, this is a overpriced game. You're paying for the IP. It's a simple pick up and deliver game.
Which I will say, the only reason I liked it somewhat was because it was Star Wars.
Yeah, if that was generic, any other generic theme, it'd been done. I had Firefly the game, which is a pick up and deliver game. It's way better than this. I didn't even keep it because I didn't like it. I don't really like pick up and deliver games, but it had way more theme, way more. It's suffered from the same problems. You go here, you get this, you go over there. Not a lot of player interactions, but it released expansions that allow you to interact with each other.
What is supposed to be exciting about pick up and deliver?
I don't know. What is it? Well, it's the same thing.
You go here, pick this up. You have literally, you take the shortest route to where you're supposed to drop it off at, and you drop it off and get points. Is it just a race? I don't understand the draw of pick up and deliver.
Let me use this analogy.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow, I believe, your show comes in the theater. It might be tonight.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Talking
about.
Yeah, Scobby's a huge fan of this franchise called Fast and the Furious. Perhaps you've heard of it. I have watched the first one. That's about it. I do not like, nor does it thrill me in any way, shape, or form to see people operate a motor vehicle above the speed limit. Car chases don't thrill me. I don't understand why that's exciting. But there's like 8 different shows about people driving fastly and furiously.
They're angry while they do it.
And that does not excite me in one bit. I must assume that the people who like pickup and delivery like a nice, calm, go
slow
here,
and happy.
Go this, and be productive. That's what this game is.
The slow and the
happy.
content.
Yeah. Gone in 60 minutes. It's just a very sedate experience, but the IP would indicate that it wouldn't be. I mean, you would just assume that there would be more attached to it. This was a very poor game. It was blah.
And we get into games. I was playing music. I tried to get into character, but even DJ was like, he said, "What's Han doing with bounties?" He said, "Han's not a bounty guy.
You never know.
He's hauling cargo.
He might go bounty.
He's not a bounty hunter."
You never know.
It wasn't thematic in that way.
Oh, whatever.
It just has these characters, has the planets. It's Star Wars slapped on it. It could have been, like you said, Uber and Lyft.
As soon as I started seeing the cards and looking at the setup, I had a bad feeling about this. So it was it's just one of those games that just fell flat.
I think of one now.
Use the Force. That is just not. It's just very poor, and I would say pass. Matter of fact, I recently obtained Zaya. I attempted to teach Gabi it. I did a very poor job, and I would say that Zaya has way more potential in relationship.
Well, it must have more potential because we'll go into Zaya in another podcast. But we played Zaya, although we didn't really play it because it was like we just weren't getting it. Then we started playing the Star Wars, and I was like, "Oh, this is much easier." And then we played Star Wars and finished it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that was." Not much.
There's an effort. You have to put effort into a good game. We didn't, and Star Wars Outer Rim requires very little effort. No, Zaya is going to require you to.
That is a positive, though. I mean, if you like pick up and deliver, it's super easy to get into. It's super simple.
So it is.
It's a very smooth mechanism game.
If you're a diehard Star Wars fan that's going to buy anything that
you like pick up and deliver,
that they slap Star Wars on,
I got a game for you.
Obviously, you're going to get this. If you're a pick up and deliver player, I would say literally buy any other pick up and deliver game. Like I think even
I don't know what they like.
I mean, I think the Firefly game is even better than this.
So what made it different?
There wasn't. It's almost everybody's comparing Zaya. When I looked on the forums, everyone's saying something about Zaya and comparing it to Star Wars Outer Rim. There is absolutely no comparison, none whatsoever.
Yeah,
comparing it with Firefly is much more accurate.
Zaya's closer to a 4X.
Yeah, Firefly, the planets are out there. It's one big board. You go to this planet, you buy this crew and stuff, and you get a mission. And the mission is go here or take this object here. I mean, you can upgrade your ship and put cargo on it and blah, 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 blah. Much closer to the Firefly game. And I would recommend it. I would actually recommend the Firefly game over this Star Wars Outer Rim.
Okay.
If you're a fan of either one.
So, board game snobs, not approved.
Not approved.
Star Wars Outer Rim, don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
Unless you love Star Wars and pick up and deliver. All right. Well.
Fantasy Ranch.
Oh, I was finna end it.
You're not going to fin in it because me and Enrique had a game day.
Well, you talk about Fantasy Ranches. I've never seen it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Gabi has been.
Go give me some more Jameson.
Oh, what was that you had me drinking?
Jameson.
No. I drank that other stuff. Was that Jameson?
Yes.
Black Barrel?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Give me some more of that, please. Thank you, sir. Me and Enrique had a game day. Enrique's not able to be here. Get feeling better, Enrique. And we played several games that had been, we just been neglecting, such as Talon and Fantasy Ranch. Fantasy Ranch is a game that was sent to us very kindly by its designer. And it just got put on the shelf and got neglected. It's a game about horse ranching, or is that a thing? Horse ranching? Horse ranches. Basically, you are obtaining horses, taking horses to a show, utilizing their skills to win said shows, getting tack and money out of that, buying more properties for your ranch, buying more horses, etc., etc. The final victory point scoring tends to be related to your winning the shows and set collection, the different types of horses that you have. So it's an interesting concept. It even comes with not a children's version of the game, but yeah, it does. It's very much a family game. The game is set up in several different levels, level 1, 2, and 3. So you can add complexity to the base game to up to whatever level you want. We played the third and level with everything involved. And there were some things about it that I didn't like. Mainly, I don't like games that have a random, I call it a random deck. I used to talk very poorly about the networks and the network cards. Me and Gabi always just refer to this deck as the network deck. It's a deck that just adds twists to the game. And actually, this deck is called the Twist of Fate. And it's just cards that are laid out there that if you meet this objective, you get this card. It's okay. I mean, I don't particularly like that random objectives being out there. I rather liked focusing mainly on what you're doing, which is actually rather interesting. The game kind of plays sort of like a viticulture almost. You have certain workers that you can use each round that give you certain powers, and then you take your action of whether you're going to buy horses from the sale or whether you're going to buy property and expand your property. You expand your property so that you can have more types of horses. And of course, those certain areas that you purchase allow certain color horses to be stored there. And so you're kind of building up your little farm and you're moving your horses around, and then the show comes. And then you select your best horse that's going to go to that show, the horse that matches that color, and you roll a dice with its skills. And it's a simple way of checking to see if your horse is good enough and wins the show, and then you get the reward. It's very much a family game. I played the kids version with my 6-year-old and 7-year-old. They just called it the horse game, and they absolutely loved it.
Their enthusiasm was unbridled.
Okay, thank you for that. That's your one horse joke.
Why the long face?
Nope, 2 horse jokes. We're not doing that. We're not making any horse jokes.
I'll hoof it out of here.
No.
You're my main man.
Every time you make a poor joke, it derails my train of thought because I have to process
saddle up.
And my kids love this game. They're 6 and 7 years old. We played the kids game. Enrique fell in love with this game for some reason. I think it's because mainly the cards. The artwork's very interesting on it because instead of actually having hand-drawn artwork, it's basically just photos of horses and has the horses' names. And so you buy the certain horses.
Didn't you say there's different levels? Did you discuss that yet?
Yeah. We played the maxed out level. And so this is very much a family game. It very much looks and feels like not a Kickstarter, but it's obviously a game not from a big time designer.
Did you say who it's by? Did you say who it's by?
I can't recall right now. This Jameson's killing me.
I'll look it up.
But you can buy it on Amazon.
What's it called? Fantasy
Ranch? And it's obviously a labor of love by the designers to have made a game that's like thought out to where you can take away some of the complexity for the, and have a lighter family game or kind of up it if people are a little more serious. Like I said, me and Enrique played it the maxed out 3rd level, and Enrique liked it.
Fantasy Board Games, publisher, designer Keisha Swanland and Anastasia Swanland. That's what I'm guessing. Artist Anastasia Swanland.
There you go.
Family affair.
Family affair. And to me, that's an interesting thing to see. Obviously, people who are into horses, and I guess I should have prefaced this. I have a phobia of horses. Like, I got bit by a horse one time. I've never been up on a horse. I can't fathom.
You good? Good foul.
I got bit by a horse. I can't fathom being up on a horse. My kids take riding lessons. Like, my kids go weekly, wear their helmets and all that stuff, and go and learn to ride.
Fancy.
Yes, because they love horses. And I'm okay with them being on a horse, but I don't even like being around a horse. And there's something very intimidating.
Well, they're more mentally stable.
There's something very intimidating seeing your 6-year-old up on this massive horse, and it's just being guided by his whim. I don't know. I don't like that. But my wife assures me that it's okay and that it's safe. But what have you. Fantasy Ranch, obviously a game.
They're big animals.
They are big animals.
It's a big animal. I've ridden a horse. Rodin?
Tell me about your ride.
I've ridden a horse before. One time I rode a Shetland pony.
Your feet would be
My feet were dragging the ground.
dragging the ground. How tall are you?
6'1".
Okay, go ahead.
But it was when I was a little bit thinner, so it wasn't too much
That poor
weight on
pony.
the horse.
He was like, nay.
Yeah, well, it only cost me a couple bucks.
See, this is what happens.
No, I'm serious. I paid to ride the horse.
You paid. Where were you?
Beavers Bend, Oklahoma.
Oh,
It's a national park. You used to ride horses there. I
you
don't know if
just
you can
ride
anymore.
up. You just saw this miniature
Howdy,
horse and
partner.
thought, I think I'll ride that thing.
I'm gonna ride you. No, but I like horses. Actually, the friend of mine used to raise race horses, and me and this is when I was like 17, so I was not as aware of my own health as I am now. But I loved. There is no rush like riding a horse and it being at full tilt run. I mean, that is like one of the biggest adrenaline rushes I've ever had.
Ridden a horse
Yes.
like that?
We were full tilt running on them horses. Not gallop, not trot, not walking. We were running them things. And I was into it. We were racing. There was another girl. She was like a cowgirl. She was all into it. Like she knew what she was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was holding on for dear life. I just knew to stand up in the stirrup somewhat so I didn't get, bounced around like crazy. But I loved it. Love riding a horse.
Like,
Now I wouldn't now. I wouldn't now because I'm way too big.
No.
If I fell off, it'd be tremendous injury. But so you like this game?
Yeah.
Did you play all 3 levels?
I
It
did
said there was
not.
3
I just
levels.
played the 3rd level, and I played the kids version. It actually comes with another board that's like a roll and move with some extra rules that I played with the kids, and they really liked it.
Okay, well, Fantasy Ranch. You got kids? You like horses? Check it out.
I know, and my kids are always wanting to play the horse game, and I'm always looking for a game that's like a family level game, something that gets the kids kind of interested. That this and the children's concept, the kids concept game, yeah, they really like that. It's really good. But oh man, okay, you're wearing me out with this, Jameson. We gotta go.
Well, you need to stop.
Okay.
You need to rein it in.
Rein it in. Go ahead and rein it in. End it for us.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Hey, if you haven't already, send us an email. I was looking back through our emails, like from our early days. There's been some folks we hadn't heard from in a while. If you haven't written us in a while, check in with us. Let us know how you're doing. Tell us how you think we're doing. We are going to review in future podcasts Zaya, as we mentioned, Western Legends. Is it a pick up and deliver? It can be.
And I do appreciate all of our Aussie friends correcting Gabi and telling him about
I'm glad you said that. Sorry.
the dangers.
I'm sorry.
The dangers
I'm sorry.
of
Clohesi.
Clohesi. You mean Troy?
Troy.
Yeah, I like Troy.
Is that his first name, Clohesi?
I don't know. I just call him Troy.
Clohesi Troy. Okay, so when we talked about kangaroos, I was going to end it, but I got to read his email. We talked about roos. And I was like shocked. And I was a little skeptical. But Clohesi Troy says about kangaroos in Australia, fellas, you asked for some Aussie listeners to let you know if any of your facts about Australia mentioned in your latest episode were maybe a little questionable. Let me tell you, y'all are too funny to be insulting. Thank you, sir. But Crocodile Dundee and Lightning Jack have a lot to answer for. He says, I live in a country town 200 miles inland, so they don't have to worry too much about sharks, crocodiles, jellyfish. But yes, the kangaroo threat is real. These can be savage.
He sent us pictures of kangaroos fighting.
He sent us a picture of Roger, and I remember that. I remember this kangaroo. He's like jacked.
The roided out Roger.
Yes. Yeah. He says, and there's a reason the boxing kangaroo is one of our national sporting mascots. These bloody things can fight. When they rock back on their tails, their massive feet have been known to disembowel their foe.
And then he included a nice picture of kangaroos kicking each other in the testicles.
Very nice. It's a very...
Yes, I mean, that is what's taking place there.
Doing.
That roo is killing this other roo.
That's amazing how they're using their tails for leverage. It's a nice picture.
And so, yes, we are now frightened of both horses and kangaroos.
I find interesting that he says the emu is even more of a pest.
Emus are terrible.
He says, I live in that part of Australia most people look at and go, nope. He says it's not small, about 12,000 people in my town, some other things. But he says, what he was going into here was interesting. He said, they can't move backwards. So Enrique was right. He kept saying, you got to get behind him. You got to get behind him. And I was like, what is Enrique talking about? Enrique has strange amount of knowledge about the weirdest things.
I wanted to bring this up just to let Troy know that after we got his email, I of course went around asking other people about their knowledge of kangaroos, and someone who we've had on the podcast before, John, who is a purveyor of all things knowledgeable, proceeded to tell me about his knowledge of kangaroo and then go get his boomerang. We went out to the lake and attempted to throw a boomerang. Quite a lot of skill is required. It's not as easy as it looks.
He said they're real bad about getting hit on the road. Yep. You know, we hit deer around here. He says it's not unusual to see at least a dozen of these dead on the side of the road at the worst times of the year. Good grief. But as bad as they are, emus are a whole lot more terrifying, but that's another story for another time.
It made me think they look like cassowaries.
It says cheers, Troy. So I'm not sure. I'll just go with Troy.
It's Troy.
Troy, thanks for writing in. If you haven't written in a while, please write into us. I love emails.
Yes, he does.
It encourages me to keep going.
We'll be back.
Hey, Chris. He hasn't written in a while.
Chris who?
Oh, snap. How's that make you feel, Chris?
Soul Train?
No. From BGG.
Oh, you mean Captain America?
Yes.
No, we text all the time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, me and him. We keep up with
I haven't been getting that.
He doesn't like you.
How dare you?
He says
you know what?
Yeah,
forget you, Chris.
No, this is a joke.
Write us a review on Apple. Tell your friends to give us a listen.
And your enemies.
We need them downloads. Until next time, I'm Gabby.
Yes, Jerry.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.